I want to emphasize that this course is an application-based course or skill-based course where you are supposed to develop modeling skills, how to manage data, how to analyze data, and how to data. These are three base things for which spreadsheets are used. Because nowadays, in today's world, a lot of data has been generated of different kinds. There is a advanced field of study that is known as big data. So some of the analysis that done in big data can be done in Excel or in any other spreadsheet software. But as far as the advanced analysis is concerned, and if the data is very large, in that case, some specialized big data software is required. But normally, if the data size is not very large, and the kind of analysis that has to be performed on that data is not very sophisticated, then normal analysis can be performed in spreadsheet softwares also. For today's class, what I'm going to do is to introduce you spreadsheets. Basic functions like calculating the average, standard deviation, maximum, minimum, median, etc. So, so all these statistical things can be calculated, computed in spreadsheets without much effort, using some formulas, using some spreadsheet formulas. So let us, is the screen visible on your spreadsheet?
Yes, sir.
Visible on
Yes,
your
sir.
screen? Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's visible.
Okay. So we have Bitcoin prices from October to 2015 to September 2017. This is monthly prices. Monthly, the frequency of the data is monthly. So please listen it carefully, because you have this week's assignment is also on this kind of data. So normally when we download the data from any source, the three additional or four additional columns are also provided. That is open price, high price, low price, and here I have written price, but this is actually closing price. Closing price or close, it is simply written close price or closing price or simply close. So this actually means that on this in the month of October, the opening price was $236, and the highest price in October 2015 was 336. The lowest price of Bitcoin in October 2015 was $236. And this is actually the closing price of Bitcoin in October 2015. So these three columns are not of use to us. So let me delete it. And let me also delete this one. Now we are supposed to calculate the returns. Since the data, the frequency of the data is monthly, the returns that we are calculating will be monthly returns of the sample data that we are using. Our sample is from October 2015 to September 2017. So first, let us see how the returns are calculated. Return simply means if we invest in October, what will be the return in November, and then what will be the return in December. So the frequency of the data is monthly, so returns will also be monthly. If the frequency of the data is daily, daily, then returns will be daily. And if frequency of the data is annual, then the returns will be annual. So since this data is monthly data, so returns will be monthly. Click on this cell, that is C4. On C4, because for the month of October we cannot calculate the returns, because calculation of return requires two data points, and for calculating the returns of October we need the prices of September. So first data point has to be ignored. So we will start from November. So we will start with an equal sign. The formula for return is current price divided by previous price minus 1. Is this clear? This is the formula for return.
Yes, sir.
Return current price divided by previous price minus 1. This is the formula for return. So the return is 19.27%, which is coming in the form of ratio or in the form of decimal. If we want to express this in terms of percentage, we can go here. There is a group by the name of number. So in this number we have one percentage sign. Just click on that percentage sign, and this number will be formatted as a percentage. And if we want to show the decimal for 2 space after the point, we can decide on that from here. Just click here like this. If you want to show 3 data points after decimal, or if we want to reduce it, we can do like this by clicking here. So this is how. So this 19.27% is the return for November. And just double click. So after double clicking, the returns for every month will be generated till September 2017. So basically what it is doing, it is copying the formula to each and every cell till C26. So let us cross check whether the formula is correct or not. So let us just look at the last return, that is C26. So in C26, so it is dividing B26 by B25 minus 1. So it is correct. So monthly returns, these are monthly returns of Bitcoin from October 2015 to September 2019. So let average return, average.
Sir,
Average, yes.
Sir, actually, I wanted to ask that the data for price that we are using, is it the opening price or is it the closing price?
This is closing price, closing.
Okay, okay.
sir, I didn't get how did you apply the formula, because what are the basis of applying that particular formula? Are you seeing the growth in that particular month from compared to the last month and then divided it by the initial month?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
What's that -1? Like, what is its significance that why only -1?
Growth.
Actually, okay. What is the formula for calculating percentage?
Like change
Current
divided by original.
current divided by original. Okay, let us divide it by original, isn't it? Again, this is coming, the same value is coming. See, I have changed the formula like this. So whether we do it, calculate the return like this or that, this is same thing.
Okay, sir.
So after calculating the return, say if our purpose is to calculate the average return to see what is the average monthly return of Bitcoin during the sample period, what we can do, we can just type here average Bitcoin return. Every formula starts with an equal sign. The formula, the Excel formula for calculating the average in Excel is average, AVE. So I'm just clicking on this average, and after typing average, the data, the average of what? So this software is asking us uh, which numbers you are interested in calculating the average of. So we will select the data from C4 to C26. So after selecting that data, we can close this bracket, or even if we don't close the bracket, it will work. So let us see whether it is working or not without closing the bracket. So it has worked. So even if we close the bracket, it will again work like this. So during
So
this
why
sample
didn't
period,
we, sir, why didn't we take the data of C3 for the average?
B3,
C3.
C, C3 is actually blank now. So we cannot calculate the return for October. So the return data starts from C4. So
Right.
that is why
सर
we have started from C4.
सर एक क्वेश्चन था
Okay.
सर
जी पूछिए.
सर इसने माइनस साइन कंसीडर किया होगा क्या फॉर्मूले में
-1.
माइनस साइन कंसीडर हुआ होगा जब हमने एवरेज बिटकॉइन रिटर्न निकाला है तो माइनस साइन कंसीडर हुआ होगा
Yes.
ओके सर
वो तो वो रिटर्न का फॉर्मूला है. दैट इज स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्मूला फॉर कैलकुलेटिंग द रिटर्न. सो
सर अगर C3 में सर जीरो रिटर्न का वो करेंगे तो एवरेज चेंज हो जाएगा सर.
no
सर
no
इसको ब्लैंक छोड़ के अगर हम
no,
जीरो इसमें पुट करें.
it's not zero actually. We have not calculated the return for October, because for calculating the return for October we need the opening price of October and closing price of October. और अक्टूबर से पहले कौन सा सितंबर होता है, तो सितंबर की प्राइसेस, September's prices, the closing price of September, then only the return for October can be calculated. So one data point has to be omitted in the calculation, because return means, I mean, the growth or decline in the value between two data points. We need two data points. So how can we calculate the data, the return for October, when we don't have any initial data point? The data point for September we don't have. So this is the logic. Okay, so
Sir,
after calculating, okay,
yes, sir, in a nutshell, can we say this that since October is the opening point and we have not considered September, so like return is always calculated after a month. So that is the reason why
yes,
we are calculating.
yes. Okay, so the formula, the Excel formula for calculating the average is average itself. So you don't need to remember any special formula. Average is average. So we will start with an equal sign and we will type average. After typing average, we will define the data points. So that our data is contained in C4 to C26. So that is why we have we can type C4 to C26 also, and we can select the data using mouse or keypad, whatever we are using. So let us see, say for example, we are interested in calculating the standard deviation. Standard deviation, what was the volatility? Because average is one thing, standard deviation is also a very important matrix. So normally financial analysts or investors, they look at this data also, that is the standard deviation. So let us see how standard deviation can be calculated. The Excel formula for calculation for calculating standard deviation is STDEV. So just select this stdev.p, or you can calculate other, I mean you can use others also, but these differences are very minor, and you should not bother about much these are advanced concept. Just select anyone, I have selected stdev.p, and now it is asking for the data array. So let me type here C4 to C26. So you might notice that instead of selecting the data, I have typed the data here. So we can select also, we can type also. So after typing this, after defining the data, I will press enter. So after pressing enter, the standard deviation is showing as 0.20. And so this is a standard deviation. So since our data is in terms of percentage, we can also convert this standard deviation in percentage. Yes, give me 1 minute. I'm muting. Saif Ali is not muted, so that is why a lot of noise is coming. Okay. So since our mean data is in terms of percentage, our standard deviation will be also in the same unit of measurement. So we have shown standard deviation in terms of percentage. So now let us calculate the maximum. Maximum means the maximum return that Bitcoin experienced during the sample period, the maximum value of return that Bitcoin has generated during the sample period. So what was that return? So if we want to calculate that return, it is very simple, is equal to max. The formula for maximum is max. So after typing max, we have to do the same thing. We have to data where the data is contained. So our data is from C4 to C26. So after typing C4, it has calculated as 65. So 65% is the maximum return that Bitcoin has generated over the sample period. So 65% in a single month. So it was August 2017. August 2017 was, the period in which Bitcoin experienced maximum return, generated maximum return. Similarly, we can calculate minimum, and the formula for minimum is equal to min C4 to C26, like this. So minimum return was minus 23.49%. So the Bitcoin prices declined by 23% in a single month during the month of September 2017. Here you can see that September was the month in which the return was lowest. So is this clear now? Now you can use the Excel function average. You can use the Excel
Yes, sir.
function standard deviation,
Yes, sir.
maximum,
Yes, sir.
minimum. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Median. Okay. Median is also the same way. Median can also be used. Just type median and type C26 like this. So median return is 13.82. Now let us look at how some other functions which are there in Excel can be used. If is also a widely used Excel function. If through if we can we can give logical we can design a logical statement, or we can conditional we can use some formula. This is this, then do this. If this is this, then don't do this, like this. So
Sir, I'm
it is
sorry to
called
interrupt.
conditional statement. If
So I'm sorry to interrupt. Actually, sir, your voice was not clear. Can you please repeat that again?
Yes, sir.
so the next Excel function that I want to make you familiar with is if. If is a conditional statement, or if is a conditional Excel function. How it can be used, I will demonstrate it using an example which is showing on your screen. So if there is some person, say for example, who is working in the HR department, and the CEO or the management of the company has decided that any salesperson or any salesman who is able to sell their 1,000 will get 15% bonus in that month. So any salesperson who is able to sell more than 50,000 in a particular month will get 15% bonus over whatever he is able to sell over and above 50,000. So this is the condition. So this is the rule. So as the boss or the management has asked the person who is working in the HR department to calculate the bonuses of every salesperson. So in the first column, we have salespersons: Tim, Cook, Jim, Dick, Harry, boss. I mean, names of the salespersons are written. The second column is for sales. How much sales they have generated, they have caused, they have they are able to sell how much. So the second column contains that data. So say for example, Tim has generated sales of 70,000, Cook has generated sales of 30,000, Jim has calculated sales of 50,000. So in organizations, such databases are very large. So we can calculate the bonuses manually also, but using a spreadsheet can make our life easier, can make our task easier. So we are supposed to calculate the bonuses of every salesperson. How much bonuses are to be given to each and every salesperson, given the rule that if he or she has generated a return of sales of more than 50,000, he or she will be entitled for a bonus of 15%. So here I have written 15, 0.15, which is 15%. This is the bonus rate or commission rate or bonus rate. And the rule is that the salesperson has to generate a sale of more than 50,000. So the bonus will be applicable only if the sales generated by the salesperson is more than 50,000. So, and if he has not generated any, he has not generated sales more than 50,000, in that case, he will not get any bonus, or in other words, his bonus amount will be 0. So let us see how this can be done. So we will start with an if sign. We'll type if. After typing if, the bracket will start. It is asking for logical test. What is the logical test that you want to apply? So our logical test is if sales is more than 50,000. Is this the rule? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
50,000. And we want, okay, we want to make this fixed. So just type so this is the logical test. So if B6 is more than B3, then what? So what this software is supposed to do if this statement is true? Value if true. So we have to calculate the bonus. So let us do this. How bonus will be calculated? Minus this. Okay, let us type dollar sign here also to make it fixed. And we have to close this bracket and multiply it by this. That is the bonus rate. And this reference has to be fixed again, because the bonus of 15% is constant for everyone. So we have to make it constant. And what if this statement is false? So if the sales is less than 50,000, what should be the value? So let us write it here 0. Then in that case the bonus should be 0. So this software has calculated, the bonus of Tim. And if we want to copy this formula to the next cells, we just need to double click on the lower right hand side corner. This corner, just double click on this corner and the formula will be copied to the whole data. Our data is still B11. So let us do that. So once I have double clicked on the corner, the formula has been copied to each and every cell. So as per the data, Cook is not entitled for any bonus. Jim is also not entitled, and Harry and Boss will get some bonuses. So this is the modeling of bonus. So let us
Excuse me, sir.
Okay.
Sir, can you please tell me the logic behind why did we include 0 in that? I did not get that.
First we have to write the logic. Logic is if sales is more than 50,000, this part, B6 is more than B3. So if this is true, then what should be the value? If this is true, then this software should calculate this value, that is bonus. And if this statement is false, in that case the value should be 0. So first we have to define what should be the value if the statement is true. Then we have to write what should be the value if the statement is false. So if the statement is so that is why we have written here 0.
But they have the glitch.
So are we using that if else statement that we use in computer language? Like, is it it's similar to that itself?
Yes, that's the same thing. It's the same thing.
thing,
That is used in programming and coding.
Programming language, if else statement.
Yes.
If we put the condition, and if the condition is true, then we follow the printf statement or count statement, And if the condition is false,
Yes.
then we follow the else statement.
Yes, yes. If the condition is true, then do this. If the condition is false, then do this. So there are, you know, decision tree, things like that. So this
Okay,
is
sir.
very simple example.
Sir,
And
I have a query.
Sir, I
okay,
want to ask.
Pratiksha.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay.
Sir, in the if function, सर आपने डॉलर लगाया है B और 3 दोनों के केस में, लेकिन सर मुझे ये आपने लास्ट क्लास में बताया था कि why did you place these dollars and what are their effects? But सर अगर हम इस कंडीशन में, अगर हम B3 के केस में डॉलर दोनों में ना लगाएं, तो फिर सर क्या इम्प्लीकेशन होगा?
अगर हम डॉलर साइन को यहाँ से हटा देना,
हाँ हाँ हाँ,
और तो जब डबल क्लिक करेंगे हम फॉर्मूला को कॉपी करेंगे, तो वो रेफरेंस चेंज हो जाएगा एंड वी डोंट वांट टू चेंज दैट रेफरेंस. जैसे मैं अभी आपको यहाँ पे करके दिखा.
यस सर.
सर
मैं
लेकिन
अभी
सर बीट्स सर फिक्स है ना,
हाँ,
0.15
वो तो फिक्स है ना.
तो सर अगर डॉलर
15%
नाम
is
लगे तो क्या डिफरेंस आएगा?
नहीं, वो चेंज हो जाएगा. जैसे मैं अभी
सर
दिखा
अगर
रहा
if अगर डॉलर नहीं लगाएंगे तो सर फिर B6 जैसे B6 के लिए B3 आया तो B9 के लिए B6 आ जाएगा, क्योंकि वो 3 का डिफरेंस हो रहा है.
हाँ, सही कह रहे हैं यतेंद्र, आप बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं. तो ऐसे देखिए, जैसे मैंने डॉलर साइन हटा दिया एंड वंस आई विल डबल क्लिक हियर, error will come, you know. See,
Yes.
So the values are not, these values are wrong actually, because see here instead of B3 the reference has changed to B4.
Yes.
Difference is 3.
So
7
this is
minus
wrong.
4 is equals to 3.
So we
So your audio is not coming.
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
B6 B3. So after making the references fixed, then I will copy, and now it will calculate correctly. It is calculating, you know, the correct values. So let us see whether this modeling is flexible or not. So if the policy of the company changes from 15% to 20%, so if they have decided to increase the bonus from 15 to 20%, we just need to change this to 0.2. The bonuses will automatically change. Similarly, if we change the minimum amount of sales from 50,000 to 70,000, again the bonuses have been you know, changed. Let us change it to 65,000. Again the values are calculated only for 2, because only in 2 cases the sales are more than 65,000. So this was about you know, if function, and let me remind you that whatever your area of interest is, whether it is finance or whether it is marketing or operations or you know, HR or whatever, for marketing, Excel is used for, you know, every area of, you know, practice of management, because in every area there is some kind of data and some kind of analysis is required, some kind of modeling is required, and spreadsheets are handy. They are very helpful in data management as well as analysis and presentation and visualization, So I'm taking very small examples, and in next classes I will take up some you know, advanced slightly difficult examples also from different areas of marketing, finance, or pricing, etc. So in those advanced modeling, all these things like sum, if, averages, median, multiplication, things like that will be used. So that is why we are starting with these simple Excel functions. The next function, the Excel function that I'm interested, I want you to become familiar with is sum product. Sum product. This function actually uses, let me show you. Okay, so if we double click on the sum product, through help functions, we can look at what are the functionalities of that Excel function. So I have double clicked on the sum product and it has opened a help box, which is describing the utility of this function. So it is written here, the sum product function returns the sum of the products of corresponding ranges or arrays. So if there are two columns and we are interested in multiplying one column by another column and then calculating the sum of the resultants, in that case, sum product function is used. The default operation is multiplication, but addition, subtraction, and division are also possible. So initially it multiplies, then after multiplying, it adds basically. Then the syntax is here. Sum product, array 1, array 2, array 3. There can be 3 columns also. There can be 2 columns also. We can multiply 2 columns each other or 3 columns also. So if we are not using this Excel function, that is sum product, we can do the calculations in a lengthy manner also. For example, if this is the data, units, price, and we are supposed to calculate the sales. So we just need to multiply units by sales. These are units multiplied by sales. Multiplication in Excel is written by this star sign. This star sign is for multiplication. So we are multiplying A5 with B5. A5 multiplied by B5. So this is 2500. And if we want to copy, we can drag it also. We can double click also. So I'm dragging here like this. If I will drag, the sales will be calculated for next 3 values also. Then after calculating the sales, I can calculate the sum. I will start with an equal sign and I will just select these 4 data points, and it will add the sales figure. So these are the steps involved, but I can do this thing in a simple in one cell itself, and the formula for that is I can use sum product. I will start with an equal sign, type sum product, select these units, array 1, which is array 1, and then I will select the prices, which is array 2. So I have only 2 arrays, and after typing this, after defining the 2 arrays, I will press enter and it will calculate the sum product or resultant. It will add the these values. First it will multiply, then it will add. So that is called sum product. There is another example also, and 2 more examples also. I will share these this Excel sheet with you, and you are supposed to practice these Excel sheets. The if function, the sum product function, the average, the median, the mode, minimum, max, things like that. Now let us talk about this week's assignment. After this class, I will share the assignment with you. The assignment is that you are supposed to download the data for Nifty for last 1 year, from 1st January 2021 to 31st December 2021. And then you are supposed to calculate the returns, daily returns, Then you are supposed to calculate the mean, median, mode of that return. Of course, since the data will be daily, so your return will also be daily. And then you are also supposed to prepare a chart for that data. Then you are supposed to do one more thing, that is the overall return of Nifty during 2021. So from 1st January to 31st December, what was the return? So these three things are you are supposed to do. If there is any question, you may ask.
So
Sir,
is it
what
that
was the last thing you said? Overall return
so for mean, median, and mode, do we calculate it on monthly basis or yearly basis?
Uh, since the data is available in the daily form, I'm not bothering you. I'm not telling you to convert that daily data into monthly. So just use that daily data and calculate the returns, daily returns. But one more step you have to do, that is the overall return in 2021. So for that, you have to take the beginning value and the ending value of 2021. So what was the value on 1st January 2021? You have to take that value, and then you have to take the value on 31st December, and just calculate the percentage that will be the return for Nifty return in 2021. I will provide you the link also from where you can download the data. And after doing that, you have to.
We cannot calculate the return for the 1st January. Means 2nd January the return will start calculating just like.
Yes, Samla, that means we don't have to calculate for 1st January, right? Because we need data then of 31st
Yes,
December
yes.
2020. That's
Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
in the last class, you said that demand supply example will be done in the next class, and you only completed for the breakdown point. So, but in the assignment, both were given. So only I did only the break point only.
The assignment was break-even point. It was not on demand supply. You can practice on yourself.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
The assignment was only on break-even.
Yes, I
Yes,
got
so,
confused.
and
at
this
the time.
assignment is will be part of okay. The assignments that I am giving you will be part of the internal assessment. The evaluation is I will use these for the purpose of evaluation.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for joining this class.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you,
We
sir.
will meet.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.